How many times do we do an act out of ignorance, but then oppression is a result of this? For example, a Muslim falls into a sin when they're in their gatherings, when they're out in places they shouldn't be, but then there's pictures being taken. But then out of ignorance we see no harm in these things, and we start posting it everywhere, Snapchat, Facebook, you name it. When the audience is not just your friends, rather it's the whole world. The whole world has come to know of that which you've done out of ignorance. And then not only have you oppressed yourself, but you've also oppressed those who are involved in relation to these two characteristics that Allah has educated us, that is naturally within ourselves. But then the key is what? To protect ourselves. And we cannot do this from our own hands. This is when Allah has guided us to be of those who learn al-Islam, who learn how to maintain these correct mannerisms and etiquettes when using the likes of social media. On this particular topic, one of the greatest of the Sahaba, who narrated most of the hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahabi Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, has narrated many hadiths on this issue. Many hadith have come from this great Sahaba, and from them is an Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كل أمتي معافى كل أمتي معافى إلا المجاهرين إلا المجاهرين. So in this, the Prophet ﷺ said, all of my ummah, all of my nation are those who are pardoned. Again, this is a general statement. This is general, that all of the ummah of Muhammad ﷺ are of those who have been pardoned. إِلَّا الْمُجَاهِرِينَ. Except who? Al-Mujahirin. Those who make their sins known. And this is the example the Prophet ﷺ gave in the hadith when he further said, وَإِنَّ مِنَ الْمُجَاهَرَةِ. That indeed from this act of mujahara, which is taken from jahara, to make something loud, is أن يعمل الرجل أن يعمل الرجل, that the person does an action, ثم يصبح, but then it comes to him in the morning. So this man, he does a particular action, whether by night or by morning, but in the opposite of this time, when he comes to meet his friends. So ثم يصبح وقد ستره الله. So he comes to the morning, and Allah has placed a covering over that which he has done. Allah has hidden from the people that which he has done. This act he has done by himself, in closed doors, free from the awareness of anyone. And this is the emphasis here, of not letting your sins go viral. That Allah has safeguarded his honor by hiding that which he has done. But in the morning, this man, he wakes up, he meets his friends, he mixes with the people, and he says, عملت البارحة كذا وكذا عملت البارحة كذا وكذا. Last night, I did this, I did that. This is exactly the same thing when you go on Facebook and you post that picture. 12 o'clock in midnight, when you are free mixing, when you are listening to music, when you are smoking, when you're doing any act that you're not supposed to be doing as a Muslim. This is the same thing, al-mujahara, that you're making open that which was covered from the people. And this is the example that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in this hadith, when he says, وَمِنَ الْمُجَاهَرَةِ. And from this is when the person, he doesn't act, and Allah has covered and safeguarded that which he has done. But then when he wakes up and he meets the people, He says, last night I did this, I did such and such. And him himself, he removes the cover that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had placed over him. As a result of him telling the people what he had done. Look how easy it is. Snapchat, 5 seconds. You send a little thing that you're doing some crazy stuff, disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then it goes viral. Everyone starts to see it. But at the moment that no one had known the action you had done, Allah had placed a cover. Allah had placed a cover between you and the people, that no one was aware of that which you had done, until you made it open. And this is the example of the person who is not from the mu'afa. That general statement that was made, that all of the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are from those who have been pardoned, except those who make their sins go viral, make the people aware of their sins. Also from the great Sahaba Abu Hurairah, the same Sahaba narrated also in Sahih Muslim, لا يستر عبد عبدا في الدنيا إلا ستره الله يوم القيامة. And this is very important. In this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that the servant does not hide and safeguard the sins, the mistakes of the other servant, of another servant, except that Allah will safeguard and cover that which he did on the day that is most important, on Yawm al-Qiyamah. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will safeguard and hide the sins of the person who implemented that same thing in the dunya. The one who safeguarded the honor of the Muslims and hid their sins from being known among the people, Allah will do this for that person on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Showing us the importance. When we say Satrul awratul Muslim, safeguarding the awrah of the Muslim. Awrah, when we hear the word awrah, we always think about salah. Straight away, the first thing that comes to mind is my back and my knees in salah. But then the awrah is of two types. We have the awrah, which is the physical awrah, that is apparent. But then we have the awrah of the Muslims, which is his honor. His honor. Safeguarding that which he does, that we protect that from being harmed among the Muslims. And Allah has made it clear to us the punishment for those who fall into this act. When we say that one should hide the sins of the Muslims, it's important to understand the sutra, the safeguarding, the covering, is of two types. There's a time when you should cover the sins of the people, but then there's a time that you shouldn't. There is a type of people that their sins do not deserve to be covered, but then there are those who should cover their sins, who deserve for their sins to be covered. And Shaykh Tameem rahimahullah, in his explanation of Al-Riyad al-Salihin, he clarifies this for us when he says that the first type of the sutra, the safeguarding of the people, is for the one who doesn't make his sins known aloud. But even when he has fallen into certain acts, this is not common for him. This is not something that is known and attributed to him frequently. It's rarely that a person falls into the sins such of this type. It's rare, it doesn't happen. He's not known for these things. This is the person who deserves that his sins be safeguarded. Because perhaps a person will come to you and narrate to you that someone you know and in your mind has only been known for being righteous. You've had no doubt that he is a good brother or she is a good sister. But then the person comes and says, you know, such and such done such and such. This is when we remind ourselves about this type of person. He is not known. He is not known to fall into these types of acts. It's not known to us that he is afflicted with these types of sins. So this is the person who is deserving of us safeguarding his honor. This is the one who deserves to be safeguarded. But let's imagine now, because I hear it all the time, hashtag such and such, and tag such and such. So when you find this person is righteous as known to the community, he rarely falls into the likes of what he may have fallen into. This is such a surprise almost. But then you write on Facebook, look what such and such done. Or you take a picture and you tag such and such's name. Or of YouTube videos come up of someone falling into sin of recent, but then you tag everyone who's involved in that video, you tag their name, and you make it known that such and such a person is involved. This is not safeguarding the honor of that person. And it's important for us not to take this lightly, because the one who does this, it's important to understand the opposite. We have been told, the one who safeguards the sins of another believer, Allah will safeguard him on Yawm al-Qiyamah. So imagine the one who does the opposite. The one who makes it known the sins of others. The one who makes it known the sins of others in the dunya shouldn't be surprised on Yawm al-Qiyamah when his sins are presented in front of everyone. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, when we will stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and will be judged and hold to account for that which we used to do. How good is it that you could be written of Allah as someone